is generosity?
Being kind.
Being kind? Okay, then what would you say generosity is?
I'm not really sure.
When you say the word, what comes to mind? If someone's generous, what does that mean?
Helping out.
They help? What action is associated with generosity or being generous, should I say?
Oh.
Help, but I'm thinking action. If I'm being generous, if I'm doing something generous, what am I doing?
Giving
I'm
something.
giving something, perfect. So generosity, in the context that I want to refer to, is associated with you having something and giving to another. Now, generosity can be tricky because there are people who need and people who want, and people who deserve and people who don't deserve. And when it comes to giving people things, that's when problems start. But generosity is important because it helps us as Christians receive just as much as we give. Right? There are people who are poor, who struggle every day, and we're called as Christians to, when we have something and they don't, we're called to share what we have. Not just because we feel bad for them because they don't have, but when you share things, you receive even more. Right? When it comes to money, when you share what you have, when you share your money, when you donate, you receive even more. It may not be now, but it will be later. See, things will always come and go, but as long as you show love, favor will always be returned to you. Right? That's why it's important to not hoard all your things. It's easy to have, especially when you work or you're consistent in your living. You'll make a lot for yourself. But it's just as important to share it. Do not keep it all to yourself. Do not keep all the benefits you reap to yourself. Because when you start hoarding it, only you can build it up yourself. God is no longer blessing what you're growing. Do you know what I'm saying? When you share what you have, God blesses what you're growing. And you increase even more. Right? That's why it's so important to share, because when we share, when we show generosity, when we show, let me put it in a way, generosity is an act of love. When we show love, God blesses us. Amen. It's as simple as that. I want to read to you a couple verses associated with generosity, particularly with what I've just said. In Proverbs chapter 11, verse 24. Proverbs 11, verse 24, it says, one gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give, and suffers, and only suffers once. Amen.
Amen.
Let me read that here as well. There is that scattereth, and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. Let me read it one more time in my translation. One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give, and only suffers one. Amen?
Amen.
So this verse is Solomon basically saying what I just said. People that know how to share receive blessings, and those blessings will increase their resources. You might think it doesn't make sense for someone to give what they have and then get more back. But that's the beauty of God's blessing. Like I said, it may not come today that you receive more. But because of your generosity, God does not see your generosity and leaves you unpaid. God will always repay you for the love that you show other people. And he wants us to show people love so we can increase in our own blessings. He wants it to be in our hearts. He wants it to be in our nature to want to give and to want to provide for people and to want to do good for people. Right? When it comes to generosity, like I said, there are people that don't deserve to be given things. There are people that will take advantage of your generosity when they see how kind you can be as a person. Because generosity, like I said, is an act of love. And there are people who want to take advantage of the love that you show others. So when it comes to providing, when it comes to giving, be very careful of who you give what you have to. Give to those who need, not to those who want. People who want can provide for themselves, but people who need you to provide and give to them. They need your love. They need your generosity. They need you to show the way. They need you to show them what God really is about. And that starts with the love in our hearts that we express through giving people things. Generosity is not limited to money. It's not limited to material things. You can be generous in so many ways without giving something to someone physical. It could be an action, an act of help, an act of service. Sitting down and talking to someone. Being there to support them emotionally, not just financially. That is generosity. Support, kindness, showing compassion, showing care, showing love. These are acts that don't involve just giving someone a bag of money or transferring someone some money. But it's still generous because you are benefiting for someone and giving them support that they need that you have to offer, right? When you have something that you can offer, when you have a gift, when you have a skill, share it. Don't hoard it to yourself. You see, don't hoard what you have. Never hoard what you have, because that's how you lose what you have. When you have something special, share it so you can increase more and more and more, and God will bless you. Now, there's more verses. Because remember what I said, generosity isn't limited to just finances. It's limited to a lot of emotional things. And in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, you can kind of see where that comes from now. And it's not just a saying. It's really a thing for it to be just more than physical generosity. The Bible says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. My translation says, carry each other's burdens, and this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Amen?
Amen.
So here, Paul is writing to the church of Galatia. He's saying, when you support each other, you're doing God's will. It's a good thing. These acts of generosity, like I'm saying, it's a form of love. Right? In Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16, sorry. Hebrews 13, verse 16 talks about generosity again. Hebrews 13, verse 16 says, do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. Amen?
Amen.
This idea of sharing, it runs far, far deeper than just physical things. Never forget this, because with this, it's how you grow amongst people. It's how you find favor between God and men. And it's how you increase your blessings. You increase your blessings by blessing other people, by sharing your love, by sharing your resources, by sharing your emotional availability, by sharing your compassion, by sharing and caring. You help those around you and you help yourself. God will never forget what you do for people. One more. In Luke chapter 6, verse 38. Luke chapter 6, verse 38. It's just reiterating what I've been saying. Verse 38 says, give, and it will be given to you.
Amen.
Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. With the measure you will use it, will be measured back to you.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Do you understand how important it is now? This theme. Never see it when you give someone something. Never see it as if you've lost something. Especially if you do it out of love. When you do these things out of love, always know that even if that person wrongs you later, your good is still there and your good will be paid back to you.
Amen.
In some shape or form, you will receive what you're due. God will. He doesn't not ignore these things. Always do good, always look to do good, always show your care, always show your support, always be generous with what you have in your hands and what you have in your heart. Always be quick to share. But make sure it's with those who need and not with those who want. Remember those in need. Pray for those in need. Even prayer itself is an act of generosity. When you sit down and you pray for someone and your heart is there for them, that is being generous because you show them enough love to consider them in your prayers to God. Always pray for those around you. Always provide for those around you. Always support those around you. Know that generosity isn't just about money.
Amen.
It isn't just about reasons, it's more than money. Do you guys understand?
Amen.
Okay, if you praise Christ Sunday school.